If the world ended today, I would know that I had lived some of the best moments of my life since I had met you already. I always thought about this when having my existential episodes when I would think that the world is gonna end soon, but I was always calmed down by the realization that I already met the Tannies and they made my life so beautiful. I am already so happy and I don't think I would need anything else. And it was really surprising when I saw a similar approach in the Running Wild music video. When listening to Jinny's album, Happy, you kind of enter this little bubble of happiness and love with him, and, as you go through the album and reach the end, you realize that the world might rot around you, but your world, the one you built with passion and love, is still thriving. But even if you built this world alone, you have to have a point of reference you built upon. A solid base, something you can come back to. And before moving on with talking about the album, if we look outside of it, Jin initiated this chapter too and ended it in a way that kept all of us sane and, especially for the Tannies, was a backbone. Even in the 2022 dinner festa, Seokjin said he would be the last to release an album. He left us with The Astronaut, a promise of love and trust, and he came back with an album that serves as a reminder about the world we built together, how he is here to revive this world, and how his love hasn't faded away. From the monthly video messages to the Run Jin episodes and countless variety show appearances he has done since he came back, he always reassured us and his boys of his presence. His presence has become a staple in our happiness and joy, with his silly jokes and willingness to be himself. He is the epitome of happiness and the one who made sure all this to be that point of reference each of us could come back to remember about our world. The Running Wild music video is about the world ending, but it also about living in the present and living every second, exhausting it to the minimum and taking the best out of it. Knowing Jin's philosophy of life, maybe it could also be that if you try to keep up with the world, where everything has been going downhill, you will follow that same path, but if you focus on yourself and your own path, eventually you will find yourself at the same inevitable end, but maybe with a more joyful outcome. It's another interpretation of the question to either follow the herd or go fight for what is for you. And in the music video, Seokjin shows us that you don't necessarily have to fight for it, you can still enjoy it in the process. Jin said that he put that movie theater at the end so we won't feel sad, but the music video does end when we see him standing and watching the end of the world. But instead of agonizing about it, he might have lived just one of the best days of his life, which could have also been an extremely ordinary one. And this is where the concept of the album comes together really nicely. Even in the concept photos, and during his promotions, he focused on the mundane and the ordinary, how he also said I will be there, something greater than the little things. And now the title track is rightly introducing us into something like that we should strive and live for. Sometimes, it is harder to find such things and such motivation, but Seokjin found a solution for this, too. In a Weverse article about his latest songs in his playlist, Seokjin referred to this song as rushing forward in the face of hope. All of us have more or less held desperately onto it at some point, but more than ever, hope in the future was the only thing that kept us alive since all the boys left. Not to sound delusional, but the dog which has been running around Jin all along might as well be us. We have been running together all this time. Even the boys too. But does it happen when the future comes and it is not what we had expected, just in the music video? Yet again, Jinny is here to remind us that there is still our world where, on short, we will be forever young. The youthful feeling persists throughout all the songs, and to be it echoes even more in I'll Be There, because it has a vibe which makes me smile like crazy and I haven't kind of felt like this since Permission to Dance. But also if in this song the youth is perpetuated in his never-ending wish to sing and to be there for the people he loves, exploring how meaningful and special that feeling is for him, in Heart on the Window, featuring Wendy of Red Velvet, he embodies the image of a Peter Pan, bringing his youth and love into something greater than a promise, but into an act of love, that drawing of a heart on the window. But what are the Bangtan Boys without an album where they have at least one song dedicated to each other? I Will Come to You or I Miss You in Korean is a song about longing, but the details known just for them make it their song of longing and missing each other. I think it's also really meaningful that there are two verbs to express I miss you in Korean. The gyebaga shipda, we have all be accustomed to, and the verb sikjin used to the title of this song, jiripda. This verb is usually used when you're missing someone dearly and at the same time reminiscing about the memories you've shared with them. Sometimes, this can insinuate that seeing this individual may be a bit out of your means. So even from the first lines from the song, the day white snow fell / the day I left you / hundreds of times a day / those words that I say every day, we understand that it is about the time he had to live all of us, in December 2022. That day it was snowing heavily, and it remained also as a physical emotion and a place of grief for all the 18 months. The next lyrics, I miss you so much / hold me, and Sikjin said he wrote them in a journal not long after enlisting because he was missing his fans that much. And you could see it on his face when he came back. How happy indeed he was during his showcases and with how much happiness and reassurance he was singing. This time this song is a statement of our love, with the white ocean in front of him and holding the entire purple universe in his back. Set him in the way of how he always tries to see the world in two lenses, but also set him in the way that when I realized I saw the world so much more after meeting him, he welcomed me in this little world of his. This is what this album reminds us of, that as much as there's still a Bangtan-shaped hole in my heart, which keeps my heart alive. Moreover, I love this perspective also because when you realize that this is the last of the album, it also becomes the point where we come a full circle, back to square one how they said before in Sikjin could have made it with all his love and dedication. And I can't explain how grateful I am to him for leading us all through this journey. Most importantly, for taking the lead in a new chapter of their love, and still taking us with them.